How is going today? Let's kidding like Dwayne. We're Dwayne Jazz, and you know why we're dressed like this? Because
you gonna give me a cup.
Black Panther saw it last night. Still got the popcorn in that thing.
We had to see. Look, first of all, there's gonna be major spoilers.
Spoiler alert! Spoilers.
Video.
Spoilers.
Okay, we're basically gonna talk about maybe the whole thing. So if y'all haven't seen it, just skip it, save it for later. This movie was amazing. By the way, I pre-ordered these tickets back in January, okay?
Anticipating it, because we know it's gonna be like sold out.
Friday, at 8:30. Then when I go check my email to go look at the ticket, it says the ticket has expired. So then I went up to the place before we had to go, and I'm like, why does it say expired? And they're like, oh, I don't know, it says it's canceled. I'm like, how is it canceled? If I got it, if I pre-ordered it, like how is it canceled?
But
so then
they did make it up to us.
They had to make it up to me and like putting me in another showing, which was like at 12:40 a.m., which is technically this morning.
Yeah.
So we went to go see that. It was still packed.
It still was packed at 12:30.
12:40.
Yeah, 12:40.
Okay, it was still packed.
It was packed.
Right?
So it was good. So
and there's people dressed up and everything.
Yeah, just like
that.
Like us, kind of like us.
It was a lot of other people. It was somebody else had like their seats. Like, some people stealing seats because you have to reserve seats at ours. And
so
it was like conflict. So,
but the movie part, because we talked about stuff before. Let's get to the movie part.
The movie was amazing.
Amazing. I give it 10 out of 10 because it was good.
Awesome.
Music was awesome. Everything.
Kendrick Lamar did his thing.
It was just like
on the soundtrack. It was so
everything
great.
made sense. How does it start off?
It started off like explaining like how the Black Panther was like passed down and things like that, and like there was 5 tribes, and then like 4 of them became united, but then one of them, which is I think the Jabari tribe, didn't agree with it because of the vibranium and everything.
Yeah, vibranium came down from space and crashed down, and then all the tribes were fighting against each other, and what is it? The Panther. One of them had the first Black Panther. They got the heart-shaped fruit, took it and united all the tribes, and they stopped fighting, and that became Wakanda.
And then he was like the king of like all of them to protect all of them. And so like this gets passed down like every generation. And so when we saw Black Panther at first, it was in the Avengers movie.
Yeah, and Avengers Civil War.
Yeah, and his father, which we didn't even know at the time, was a past Black Panther, and he was the king of Wakanda. And so his father died in the explosion, and he was trying to save him, but he couldn't. And so that's what happened. And so when they have a tradition of him taking the throne, somebody else from the other tribes may want to challenge him if they don't agree. And of course, the Jabari tribe didn't agree because they said you couldn't even protect your own father. So how am I supposed to think you're gonna protect all of us? So they didn't agree with that. So they came forward and presented a fighter, which was like the head of their tribe. And he lost.
Yeah, he basically lost.
T'Challa, and so then basically T'Challa was king.
And his father at the time was Black Panther. He was younger, and he went to Oakland because some vibranium was stole by Ulysses Claus. Funny name, Claw. Ulysses Claw, and he stole some vibranium. And so he went over there.
The dude knew exactly how to get it, and where to get it from, and everything like that. And so he was like, somebody from our area Wakanda has betrayed us. And he knew exactly who it was.
And you could tell they're Wakandan because they got like a tag.
Yeah, there's like a tag in their lip
right here.
To show that they are of Wakanda. Because they say, who are you? Then that's when they present who they are. So they have spies like in different nations and stuff. And they act like regular like people. But then whenever they say, who are you? They start really showing who they are, and they're from Wakanda, but nobody will know it unless you show that thing.
Yeah, it was
which is really cool.
Very cool.
So the father of T'Challa, he approached his brother that was undercover. Like basically, it looked like he was doing like, what was it? He was smuggling like guns and stuff like that. It looked like
he was doing something.
His kid was playing outside playing basketball.
But you did not know that.
You didn't know that was his kid at the time, and so. There was another man that was with him, but just know that he was spying on the spy, okay?
Yeah, he was a spy. Pulled up vibranium out and told him that you have to come back to Wakanda to get consequences for your actions.
Yeah, because he betrayed him. He betrayed him by selling it off, because he was like, we shouldn't be keeping this vibranium to ourselves when there's people that's like us that need help everywhere. Y'all are just keeping it for yourself. That's basically his view from that. and he was like, no, you betrayed us. And then the father basically killed his own brother.
Yeah, he pulled the gun out. He's about to shoot him, and then he
put his claws in his
heart and
killed him. Yep. And left behind a son. Come to find out, that son was left there orphaned, basically, because his father is now dead, and his mother died, I presume, too.
I'm not sure. They really didn't talk about the mom.
They didn't really talk about the mom.
But he eventually became Killmonger.
Yeah, and Killmonger was created because he knew of Wakanda.
Because he saw the spaceship.
He saw the ship they had just go away. And so he knew of Wakanda, and he saw that his father was dead and killed, and so he knew more about it. He was trying to just learn more and more about it, and the artifacts of vibranium and everything. Then he ended up working with Claw.
They shook the dust off the vibranium, and it was like vibranium. And then they so then it was back in Wakanda.
Well, they found out that was stolen.
Yeah, they found out it was stolen.
By Claw.
But
they didn't know that Killmonger was a part of it.
They did not know who that was.
They didn't know who he was until
later on.
Because they tried to get the vibranium from those, like, the top of an axe that Claw had that he was trying to sell for like millions of dollars and stuff. So they went to Korea to go get him. Korea. They didn't fight. They fought him, and it was a big fight scene. It was so
great
awesome.
Car scene.
And they were chasing him down. Yeah, chasing with the car.
And T'Challa's sister
took control of the car.
It had the special effects, the technology will just have you blown.
The technology in the movie is just insane. It's like stuff that you would see, like, we need this now. We need this, like,
they had a little beads around your hand. That's so inconspicuous
to communicate, and then they had a thing you put behind your ear
and they have metal detectors that can't pick up the vibranium.
Yeah.
So they walk through the metal detector and it's undertraced. And so they had they was in a casino in South Korea, and they had to fight Ulysses, and then they found out there was a CIA operative there, and they was like, we need him alive and stuff like that, and I guess he was trying to sell it to them, and they was like, we need him, we're taking him back to Wakanda. Then they had the scene where they had him on the sitting down, Claw sitting down. They had the whole car scene fight with that, and then that's when T'Challa found out it was Killmonger.
Yeah, because Killmonger came in to save Claw to get him back out, and then that's when T'Challa saw the necklace, and then the necklace had the same ring as his father.
Killmonger revealed that who he was, and that he wanted to go back to Wakanda, and he killed Claw, brought him to the tribe, because there was T'Challa had a friend that wanted to either kill him or bring him back here, because when Claw came there the first time, they caused a big mess and a big war over the last time they had vibranium, and he killed his parents. His friend killed his parents. The same guy that played in Get Out. I think his name is Daniel. But so they had that whole thing, and he brought him back, and he challenged T'Challa for the throne, because it's like that's his rightful throne.
That's his blood, because he's the son of the prince, and so since he revealed himself as a son, as a prince, T'Challa's not the only one now. And so that means that he has an actual right to fight T'Challa for the throne. And he won. He threw him over the waterfall, and then he won. But his reign was not the same as T'Challa. It was more of a dictator type.
Yeah,
and he was like, we're going to take this vibranium and ship it out to other people and stuff
other spies in other countries.
Yes, that they could take over, and then we could take over the whole world, basically.
Yeah,
that's basically what he wanted to do. But it was he didn't want to share it in a peaceful way. He wanted to share it as in making weapons.
Yeah, he said
fight every other nation and everything like that, and try to just take control. Like he said, he's trying to learn from the colonizers and use the same thing against them. That's basically what he said.
And so, he thought Black Panther was dead, and he made sure to burn the little fruits that will give the Black Panther his powers.
Yeah, he said burn them all. He's like, he's the only one that wants the power. And
but yeah, Lupita, she took a fruit before it was all destroyed. She had it. She went to the Jabari tribe and tried to give it to him. The Jabari dude, they had this whole little spill, this little funny scene, and he told them that he was still alive. They found him. One of the fishermen found him in the river.
The ice and everything like that. So they took him and put him on ice so that
he wouldn't die.
Basically.
And she gave him the fruit, crunched it up, slurped it up, saw his father, and he told his father, "Why didn't you tell me this happened?" And his father was
he was like, "That's the truth that I decided to keep to myself and everything like that." Because he wasn't proud of it. So he tried to keep it.
He said, "This all could have been prevented if you would have just brought him
here. None of this would be happening."
You're right.
But y'all just decided to leave the boy there with no parents and anything.
And his father dead.
His father dead, like just out of nowhere.
So they had that whole thing. So then they had the scene where his sister brought back the suit, because the suit's pretty much a necklace, and it just goes down.
But Killmonger had the other one.
Killmonger had the other one, and it was fighting, and it was great. They had a fight scene where they had these little rhinos that had vibranium on it. It was dope. It was really dope. And then they had to stop, because the Killmonger told, because he was like the leader now, so. And then he said the challenge wasn't over, but he said he didn't care. So he was still sending out the weapons. And so the CIA dude finally woke up from whatever. And they took control of one of the ships and fought, blew up the ships and all that stuff. And
blew up the ships that were trying to bring the vibranium all over the world.
The weapons, basically. The weapons all over the world.
So that's why he was trying to shoot them down. But Killmonger basically, like, they did their fight, and they were fighting in the air. There was one scene where they were just like falling in the air, just fighting and punching each other.
Yeah,
it was just funny. It was silent.
Funny because it was silent. It wasn't no music.
Silent, and it was just boom, 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 hit you back, and it just looked so cool.
Yeah.
And then the thing that got me,
little train.
Yeah, they fought in the train, which the train tracks kind of canceled out the vibranium in the suit, so that way they had no protection. And then all of a sudden, T'Challa stabs him with the little knife that Killmonger had. He got it off of him. And the thing that got me was what Killmonger said as he was dying.
Because T'Challa took him to the sunset, because he was like, when I was a kid, my dad would tell me that the Wakanda sunset is like the most beautiful thing in the world. He took him outside to see the sunset, and then when he saw the sunset and he wanted to see Wakanda, so T'Challa let him see Wakanda, because he's like, this dude, he's looking at it like, this dude is my cousin, and he's mad basically because he wasn't taken here. He's like, he's not a bad person, it's just that he was shunned away from this place for no reason. And so he let him just see it, and then he was like, we can help you, help your wounds, because he never hated the dude. He didn't want to kill him either. And then Killmonger was like, no, I'd rather die. He said, you could bury me in the ocean with my ancestors. He said, for those that knew that it was better to die rather than to be in bondage, which was slavery. And I was like, oh, that really, because he said they jumped into slave ships. Because they knew that death was better than bondage. I was like, oh my goodness. That was tough. And so that was a hard line. He had the knife stuck in himself, and he just took it out, and then he died.
Took it out and died. He was like, I'd rather die than be in a cell where you guys are gonna hold me.
And then cuts to everything is cool. It cuts to the trailer. Cuts to the end credit, right? Cuts to the credit.
Yeah, it goes to the credit, and then they show a little cut scene, after the credits, and
United Nations.
They show the United Nations showing that he said that he was from Wakanda. He revealed who he was and what he has to bring to the world, which is of course going to be
the technology and the vibranium. Also, they went to Oakland, and there was the building where his uncle died. T'Challa's uncle died. And he said that he bought that building and that building and that building, and they're gonna help pretty much the hood, and do it right. And they had the spaceship, and it came down, and the little kids was like, "What is that? It's so cool! It's like a Bugatti spaceship. You want to take it apart and sell it for parts and stuff like that." That's what they said. And so he said, his sister's gonna help, teach them technology and redo.
And just basically help the community and stuff like that. Now, there was every seat filled when there was the first scene after the end credits happened, and that was the one where they went to the United Nations. After that, the whole movie theater cleared out except for maybe 2%, which was us two, and another couple that was sitting next to us, and maybe 4 other people. So it was 8 of us left, right, all together, out of all the seats. And then the actual scene that I was waiting for, which was with Winter Soldier, finally came up, because he's still there, because where we left off at Winter Soldier, they brought him to Wakanda
to heal him.
So I was like, why would they mention that if they're not going to show him in the movie? So you had to stay. Those aren't true loyal Marvel fans that don't know that.
So the last cutscene was him in a hut, these kids all around him, and he wakes up and they run away,
and his arm is gone.
Remember,
the metal arm,
the vibranium arm, that's completely gone. He's probably going to get another one, as you can see from the Infinity War trailer. When he moved the gun down, he had another arm, and she makes, you know, crazy weapons, do weapons all the time. And so they might get a better, new, improved arm for the Infinity War.
But it looks like she might be teaching him to be more peaceful and
try to get
over what he did.
Yeah,
and because he didn't like that he was being brainwashed and everything, basically.
Because she called him like what, Sergeant Bucky or something like that. Sergeant something Banks or whatever. I can't remember the name. And then he's like, name is Bucky, and he's like, okay, so he's starting to get his memory back from like the whole Winter Soldier days when he was just like, you know, reprogrammed. But you know, and then they cut all credit. So I'm happy to see Winter Soldier. I want to see a Winter Soldier. I want to see a Winter Soldier Netflix or some type of series where they show him in his days with Captain America.
When Captain America was like,
sleep,
you know, basically
in a coma or whatever.
And he was being like, you know, helping the world or being brainwashed or whatever.
Yeah, when he was doing assassinations, because he was going out assassinating people and then getting put back on ice. So I want to see what was going on when he was going on missions, and I want to see that. That would be so lit. But as far as Black Panther go, I give it a 10 out of 10. It was
amazing.
It was the plot developed and it was really understandable. It was real cheesy, clean. It wasn't cheesy. It was the technology will wow you how they have it. It was amazing. The storyline was really good. Nothing in the movie was bad at all. Nothing was cringy or nothing like that. The only thing that
I say, and it's not because of the movie, we had someone in our theater sleeping.
I don't know
how he slept.
He was knocked
I don't know how he slept. And I know he was on our row, because it was the top row. And he was sleeping like hard.
People will sit there.
Yeah, I was sitting there, because I was hearing him like, am I hearing snoring?
Right,
like, and I didn't know what I was hearing, because it would be times where like the movie goes silent and you just hear. I'm like,
the funniest thing. I'm like, how do you sleep over all this?
Like, how you sleeping over all that? How you sleeping over all this that's happening? And then we can hear you over the movie. How we hearing you over the movie? How?
I don't know. I don't know how he
was sleeping for like maybe 15 minutes, y'all. And then like I think somebody woke him up because everybody was looking over like,
what are you doing? Like what
is this? Like
it was great, but overall the movie's 10 out of 10. I give it 10 out of 10. What do you give it?
I give it 10.
I give it 10. Yeah, I give it 10. It was an amazing movie. Nothing in it was like oh my god, like it was just great. The chase scene was amazing. The fight scenes were really choreographed well.
And I would say like the details they got.
Oh, as an African, because they had this one dude with the gauges, and he had a lip gauge, and his lip was like all the way out there with the thing in his mouth. The disc in his mouth was all. They just did an amazing job.
And then they had like I noticed that like in one of like their it looks like the council maybe their council, they had a woman that had the red hair, and I know that's from like the Himba tribe, because it just looked so accurate. I was like, oh, when I saw that I was like, oh my god. Then they had the scarification on Killmonger and everything. I was like, oh my goodness, they really put like a lot of detail into that, and it was just great. I was like, they really did their research, and like all the different like tribes and everything for the movie. They really did research.
Really
it was awesome.
I would recommend to go check it out. We're not sponsored or anything like that, so it's just completely because we like the movie and we like Marvel, period, and we like DC too.
They said that Black Panther was going to appear and return in the Infinity.
Infinity is going to be a smash. It's going to be one of the biggest movies this summer.
2019?
No, this summer.
This summer?
This summer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's going to...
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, so it's going to have everybody. We already reacted to the trailer, but it's going to be dope. Anyway, guys, please comment below.
Don't forget to like and share.